Well, I never thought I'd say this, but she's back. All right, welcome back into Big Brother Breakdown. This is our second episode, but it's our first episode after the premiere. I am your host, Steve Hempel, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We do. We have a ton to talk about here in this episode after the premiere of Big Brother 27, of BB27, and boy was it something last night. All right, let's talk about it. I said I'd take the night, sleep on it, and without further ado, let's talk about it. So I forgot to touch on this in the last episode. I'm going to touch on it now. We got the confirmation last night, but we got it beforehand, that the AI Arena was coming back. It's now a permanent part of the game, and it is going to be renamed the BB Blockbuster. I was always a fan of this. I was a fan of it last season. I'm a fan of it this season because it adds more unpredictability to eviction nights, something that has been desperately, and I mean desperately needed for quite some time. So I am glad that it is back. It worked for the most part last season, but I'm glad it's back once again this season. Now, I want to talk about real quick, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room in just a moment, but I want to talk about who's strong, who I think looks good this early on in the game. Of course, we mentioned Ashley in the Cast First Impressions episode earlier this week, and I think she does look strong. She proved it last night. I do think she will be a competitor. Jimmy, surprisingly, I think looks really strong. I think he will be a force, especially if he can make it. If he can make it through the first couple of weeks, he could target who came back into the house last night. We'll talk about again. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Vince, who, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episode, is the first head of household. I think he looks strong. I think he will go far in this game, I think. I was a little disappointed with Amy. She looked lost in that first competition, but that's okay. I think that's jitters. I think she will get better as the game goes on. But yeah, I mean, and by the way, the house does look good. I just said it looked on Twitter, but I think it looks good. I really do. I mean, there's no clear-cut target in week one. Never is. But we'll talk about that here towards the end as we speculate about what could happen in this first week of BB27. Now, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the elephant in the room. Rachel Riley is back, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who she is, well, shame on you. If you are listening to this podcast, I'm sure you know who she is. But Rachel Riley, of course, she was on season 12, the second season I ever watched, and she won the following year in season 13, back in 2011. Now, she is a permanent part of the game. She will be playing in the game this season. And she's always expressed a desire to come back and play. So, she is back in the game for the first time since she won her season back in 2011. So it's been 14 years since she's been in the Big Brother house. And she's back. She's back to play this go-around. Now, I said this on Twitter, and I mean this sincerely. I hope this is not going to be, while I'm happy, I'm not necessarily happy, but while I'm okay with Rachel coming back, I do not want this to become like BB19. Of course, if you recall BB19, that was Paul coming back and pretty much dominating the entire game. I don't want that to be the case this go around. I want, if it means getting Rachel out early, to not have them dominate, to not have her dominate the entire season, then that's what it takes. That's kind of why I'm kind of pulling for Jimmy, because if he wins HOH, he could target Rachel. Now, again, this is not a terrible thing for the season itself. It could be good, but hopefully Rachel does not dominate the entire season like Paul did on BB19. That's my biggest concern. This season could go good or it can go bad. It just depends on how production plays this. Okay, we do not want to repeat a BB19. BB19 was real bad because Paul just dominated. It was a slog. It was tough to watch. But I will say, again, Rachel makes for good TV. Let's not get that carried away. She was good TV in Season 12. She was good TV in Season 13. And she will do well in this game. She's done it before. She's won the season. So she can win. She can play. I just don't want her to dominate. That's just my only concern. And it's a legitimate concern. Because she is a comp beast. She can win competitions. She can work her way out of a jam. If she feels like she's a target, she can work her way out of that. So she is a threat in this game. And Jimmy was right. He was spot on last night. He said she is a threat. And she definitely, most certainly, is a threat in this game. Real quick, I want to talk about the Mastermind's accomplice. Who could it be? This is kind of reminds me, going back to Season 12, of the Saboteur twist. If you recall that, it was the Saboteur who kind of wreaked havoc in the house. It only happened for 1 week because Annie was the Saboteur and she was evicted the very first week. Now, this Mastermind's accomplice twist basically is if they find out who the accomplice is, they get evicted. And there'll only be 15 playing. But if they don't find out who it is, that person will be the 17th house guest. All honesty, I don't think they're going to find out who it is. I really don't. I don't know if this group is smart enough to figure out who the accomplice is. So I do think this accomplice will be playing the game. Who it is, I don't know. But we will find out, of course, us here in America, or, the viewers will find out who it is. Because they're going to tell us. But overall, it was a great premiere. We got a lot to look forward to this season. Week number 1 is really officially underway because we have our first head of household. Now Vince has to nominate 3 people for eviction. Who he's going to nominate, I do suspect there will be at least 2 pawns. I don't know if there's a clear-cut target this early on. Maybe it's going to be Rachel. I don't know. I doubt it is, but we'll find out. We will find out, of course, on Sunday night. It is a 90-minute episode, and then, of course, right after the West Coast airing of the episode, the feeds open up at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The feeds open up on Paramount Plus and Pluto TV. I'll try to catch some of the feeds on Pluto TV. I'm not a regular feed watcher, but I will tune into the feeds here and there throughout the season. But we are in for, I think we're in for a good season. Again, I worry about what will happen with with Rachel coming in. I do not want her dominating like Paul did on BB19, because BB19 was it was not fun to watch. This season looks like it will be fun to watch. Let's just hope that production does not have Rachel dominate the entire season. So, that'll do it for us here today on Big Brother Breakdown. I will be back again next Friday. We'll recap everything that happened in the Big Brother house this week. We'll recap the veto competition. We'll recap everything. The BB Blockbuster competition, the eviction. We'll recap it all 1 week from today, right here on Big Brother Breakdown. And, of course, follow me on Twitter, at TJ Temple Media, as we talk all things Big Brother throughout the week and throughout the season. I'll be on there talking all things Big Brother as the season goes along. Until next Friday, I will see you then. Enjoy Sundays and Wednesdays episodes, and Thursdays too. And I will see you right back here 1 week from today, next Friday. We'll recap everything, week 1 of BB27 right here on Big Brother Breakdown. Take care.